What's up, wrestling fans? Tony Mango here, welcoming you to another edition of the Internet Wrestling Community Outreach portion of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast for the week. We're going to start things off the way that we normally do here with the Smark My Words, and normally it's a fan-submitted comment of the week, but this time around I actually chose somebody who's usually on like the panels and stuff, and that's Mike Payton. I thought that his comment that he left in our Monday Night Raw live chat on the Megamaniacs was pretty funny, and to be honest, nothing really else stood out to me to be like, well, okay, well, I'm not going to give it to Payton, I'll give it to this person instead or whatever, and I'm feeling a little bit lazy too, so it goes to him for a comment that he left. He said, it's called WWE 24 Balor because 24 hours is how long Finn Balor spends on the main roster each time before getting injured, which is very true, it seems, and very sad, kind of, but it is funny nonetheless. So any kind of comments that you guys put out there like that, those are the ones I usually end up going for. So if you want to join in on all the fun with that kind of stuff, there's lots of different ways that you can leave your comments on your YouTube channel, the Twitter tweets that you tweet at me or whatever like that, those count, and all the other things on the list right now, including that aforementioned group on Facebook, which you can find at facebook.com/groups/themegamaniacs. And if you're not a part of that, and you do have a Facebook account, or if you want to make one up like Wolf Jones just did the other day, that's where you're going to find a lot of our different stuff throughout the week, including those live chats through Monday Night Raw, for SmackDown, 205 Live, etc., and just normal bullshit and stuff. So go ahead and sign up for that one, because I'm telling you, that is where you're going to have some fun on our off time. We are going to be taking care of the mailbag for April this coming weekend or something, whatever we get around to doing it. I don't know, depending on when you're listening to this. So if you want to try to get something in at the last minute, go ahead and send that in by tweeting at SmarkOutMoment with the hashtag mailbag, or leave an email through the contact form of the website. And if you're not able to get it in time for the April one, you can still submit it anyway, because when we do it in May, I will just take your question and apply it to the future list. And it doesn't have to be wrestling related. It could be about anything you want to pick our brains about. So just send in your questions and we'll try to answer them. If you're looking to help support the growth of Smark Out Moment, there's a couple things that you should be aware of, especially nowadays with this whole potential idea of YouTube not really giving a whole lot of ad revenue to wrestling channels. So you can donate money directly with PayPal, the YouTube's fan funding module, if they don't get rid of that thing, or through our Patreon account. You could also buy t-shirts, mugs, stickers, and other kinds of merchandise over at our Redbubble and TeePublic shops, and we also have 2 extra TeePublic shops for Fanboys Anonymous and A Mango Tees is what they're called, so go ahead and browse those as well. You can also help spread the word about the website in a couple different ways, such as the Sign Me Up initiative. For that, all you got to do is go to a wrestling show and take a sign that says Smark Out Moment, take a picture of yourself holding it up, and send that my way. Or perhaps the most important thing is to help our social media accounts grow by doing things like retweeting and following us on Twitter, liking and sharing our posts on Facebook, subscribing to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done that, hitting that thumbs up button on the YouTube videos, leaving your comments, sharing things like the website's articles and the videos themselves on Reddit and message boards and elsewhere on the internet. Basically anything that you guys do to get our name out there, tell some other people about us or whatever like that, is all greatly appreciated. And the same thing applies to Fanboys Anonymous, which is my spot for movie reviews and other nerdy things like that. So if you want to geek out with me on superhero content and whatever else is going on, head on over to fanboysanonymous.com, follow those Facebook and Twitter accounts, of course subscribe to that YouTube channel, and do all the same things that you would do for Smark Out Moment. And that brings us to the major topic of the video, the wrestling trivia question of the week, otherwise known as the Ask Him. And last week's question was about the draft, because we had the Superstar shake-up and everything. So the question was, who were the first draft picks for Raw and SmackDown during the inaugural WWE draft, which was in 2002? The answer to that is SmackDown drafted The Rock first, and then Raw drafted The Undertaker. So who said what, who got it right, who got it wrong, whatever the case may be with those things. Peter Piccinini says The Rock to SmackDown, Lesnar to Raw. So half credit on that one. Dominator 39R says Perry Saturn to SmackDown, and that stupid bitch Dixie Carter to Impact. Maybe it went down behind the scenes or something. I don't know. Bobby Lesnar G86 says, and a taping doesn't count because it wasn't shown till after Survivor Series. Fuck you and your Tony questions, talking about last week. I didn't specify his first televised appearance. I specified his first opponent. So, yeah, it is a Tony question. And he also says SmackDown was The Rock and Raw was The Undertaker, so he gets that correct. Christopher Marin says The Rock to SmackDown and Undertaker to Raw as well. Not to wrong. Wrong is War is what the name of that show is, I guess. So good job, everybody, for the most part here. And let's see what happens with this week. So we have Booker T filling in for David Otunga on commentary, and that's going to be at least a couple of weeks of that. But I'm trying to think of something to kind of base off and ask him for. And once I thought about that, started looking into some other little things. And you know what? He apparently did commentary with another name. So what other name did Booker T once commentate under the pseudonym of? If you think you know the answer or you want to leave a guess or anything else, drop them in the comments below. Next week, I'll tell you what is going on with that. And that's going to do us in for this week's edition of the IWC Outreach. I want to thank you all for listening, and I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and follow us for the rest of the week of whatever else is going on here. The mailbag is coming up next, so that's the next thing that you'll be able to see from us as our main event for this week. So give the video a like, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, stay tuned for that. And, yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been another Smark Out moment, and I'm being counted out.